We'll start streaming, so I've clicked start streaming. So we should be back online. So we will double check this. Apologies for the slight delay there, everyone, if you are watching once again. But we should
share this
be...
stream as well.
Yes, please. So I believe if I go and double check. There we are. Okay, we are in fact back online. So while Daniel goes and sorts out a couple of things in the background, I will reintroduce I think part 4 now of the live stream. So apologies for that. We did need to do another live race sync as we've been missing a bunch of live races, unfortunately, due to some technical glitches with Awesome Sim Racing and my installation of such of the tool. Fortunately, settings do reset sometimes, and that seems to have happened before we were able to get all the libraries up. But welcome back in, of course. We are live here on the DC-SimRacing YouTube channel, and we have hit some milestones we will talk about very soon. I do also want to mention, of course, that we have happy hour going on right now. So for the next hour or so, or for the next, I should say, 51 minutes, we will, in fact, be having 30-second time penalties going for a rate of $25 for your donation. So if you donate $25, you can apply a 30-second penalty to those out there. And I do see a couple out there already. So Kasbergen in the 79 BMW for QRT, who we're just on board with right now, just going past our screen at the moment. 60 seconds of penalties have been applied to the car. 60 seconds. The other thing that's very much of note, the 373 car is now under huge attack. We're going to keep a very close eye on this. Under huge attack. Around the outside goes Schubert in the 777 car. So they've made up a huge amount of time while we've been out of the broadcast. Otto in the 373 car has picked up a drive-through penalty that happened before we changed off the channel, and now Schubert is all over the back of him, and this is for the top 3 positions in this race. Keep a very, very close eye on this race. We certainly will be, and that drive-through is absolutely massive. So the 373 car has picked that drive-through up, Daniel, because they ignored the driver's stint time. So that's a massive error for the team. Unfortunately, they must have missed it by a minute or maybe seconds in terms of coming into the pit stop. The pit stop is very, very long to transition through this pit lane, and that's possibly caught out a few on track. Schmidt and Gibson in a big battle here, the 208 versus the 31. This has been going on all race long. A drive-through cleared by race control as well for the 79. So that's huge. But Daniel, $6,240.81. Happy hour is in full swing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So good to see. About that drive-through, we had something when I started my 2-hour stint of the late night yesterday. My teammate Johan unfortunately picked up a drive-through when he came into the pit, which of course can happen. But the thing is, if that happens when the stint timer is about to run out, well, you have to do the drive-through instantly, which means that you, of course, will go over your stint timer, which means that you will get another drive-through, but we didn't have any fuel left.
Oh,
so
no.
We had to come in again. So we instantly had to contact the race control to have that penalty bought off. And Johan was kind enough to donate that money on my behalf. So because I offered to pay that off again. So, it is very unfortunate when you go over your stint timer. Thankfully they have been able, chose to clear off that penalty.
Exactly right. Yes, that's exactly it. So of course that's a huge donation total for us. Happy hour continues for another 48 minutes. So do get those donations in. Really go and mess with your opponents. 30 seconds on the clock. I think it stresses out the driver once you see that, and you know potentially that it's from a donation, but you also start to scramble, I think, in the driver's seat, wondering whether that's going to be happening or not. Into the pits comes the 373 car with Otto behind the wheel. That elevates Schubert and the 777 car back up into P3 in this race, back up into the podium positions, and they will, it looks like, come through ahead of Lentvar, the P2 car for DC-SimRacing, currently in the pits. And I believe that is going to be for changing their tires, changing the driver. The interesting thing here, Daniel, is that the track is now damp. The temperature has gone up to 25 degrees Celsius. In 10 minutes, we're staring down some dry conditions, but 30 minutes away, we've got more rain.
Oh, this is the best there is when it comes to racing, or especially in ACC. This is yeah, lovely, because oh yeah, the delivery still hasn't loaded in somehow. Okay, so the little break that we just took, I'm absolutely I'm amazed at why that's going on, because I checked with one of the drivers yesterday to get everything sorted. Maybe that was Mr. Jake Hart himself. I'm not sure who I spoke to, but yeah, we spent a good while to get that sorted and loaded up into the awesome client, but somehow there must still have been a mistake. So yeah, my apologies there for the number 14 car. And of course, everyone, I hope everyone is back in the stream, because yeah, it was my suggestion to reload again. I wasn't really aware that we would, well, the possibility of this happening, of course, neither was George, because we wouldn't have risked it if we would have known. But yeah, it did happen. So apologies on the inconvenience, but it looks like everyone is back again. We are back to 16 viewers. So yeah, let's
yes, welcome back,
stay
everyone.
on this. Again, this is part, I've called it part 4, but that's actually because I forgot to rename the second part. It's actually part 5. So that just goes to show that things have not run all that smoothly when it comes to broadcasting. That is to say that the broadcasting itself is awesome, very good, but yeah, we've had a few technical
yes, I don't think it's a 24-hour race without something going wrong, and it's going to happen in every area. I mean, you guys, 22 hours, 7 minutes in. Yes, of course, my apologies as well for those whose liveries have not loaded in, whether it's through our side here or if there's something that has just gone bang in the night potentially with the technology. It's a real shame not to see such hard work that goes into the liveries being able to be shown on the live stream. So we do humbly apologize and ask for your forgiveness on that, but these things unfortunately do sometimes happen. Nonetheless, we do also have a request from Gruesome Man, again, which link to use for the 30-second time penalty. So if Menno or yourself, Daniel, could be kind enough to pop that link back in the chat for the happy hour that is going on right now. And it does continue very nicely as the 373 car does make a donation to remove a drive-through penalty. And that'll be on themselves, of course. And looks like Jacob Hart has stopped out on track for reasons unknown. We do have the 14 car decided to make a unscheduled stop there just after Pouin. So very interesting. They do have a rapidly approaching hexagon car behind them. Not this one. That is P1 going on through Jacob Hart. So Krieger at the helm of the car in the lead position, the 96 car. The gap between P1 and P2 has come down to 50 seconds out on track. They're still only separated by one pit stop. They are both on lap 555. That's a lot of laps out there, and I get the feeling I'll probably try and do some quick math on this at some point, but we will absolutely see what happens, because I've learned from bitter experience, sadly, that doing math on stream while trying to juggle all of these things doesn't usually work out in my favor. Maybe I need to recruit a chat assistant, or maybe I need a personal assistant.
I just the AI could probably do it for you, right?
It probably could. It probably could. The question is, could I ask the AI the right question? Or maybe I could.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I could figure that part out. Surely. Oh, let me do some very quick maths on this. And oh, we've got a move there. The number 9 car on the 14 car. So I really don't know what's happened to the 14 car here, but they look like they're really, really down on pace in the McLaren. So the McLaren being overtaken easily there down the inside of La Source and into Rouge and Radion we go. That was a very easy overtake from the number 9 car, who suffered some damage. They went to the pits and repaired that damage. But unfortunately for Jacob Hart, things have gone slightly sideways for them, unfortunately. So we'll have to keep an eye on what's happened there. Maybe someone from the team can give us an idea of what has happened if they are willing to give up that information.
We did see that car spin out, which was actually the cue for me to say, oh, let's reload the liveries, because I saw that the livery unfortunately did not load in properly. Well, no worries, we're not going to stop the stream again, because you see we will have to share another link, so we're not going to do that. But again, my apologies to the number 14 car. I'm not sure well, let me be honest, it most likely is something with the upload to Awesome Client, but yeah, I know it's absolutely far from a perfect system. The Awesome Client makes life a lot easier for us, and it should also make, as we see a car standing there on the side of the road, and as you say, George, you can't park there.
You can't park there. Timo sent it into the wall, unfortunately. Yeah. All the jokes, I'm sure he's absolutely sick of people making jokes about that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But awesome. Yes, it is one of those things with these libraries. Luckily, we do have the vast majority of them out on track, so that is good. But 10:19 a.m. out here on track now, 26 degrees, so it is getting warmer and warmer out there as we head towards drier conditions for about 10 minutes out on track, and then the rain reappears to keep things spicy for the remaining 1 hour and 49 minutes out on track. I would like also to say thank you to Tim, who says commentators did an awesome job, give yourself some credit. So there we go, Daniel. We've got to pat ourselves on the back either way, but nonetheless, my congratulations and credit given should be going to the drivers, the teams, the organizers, yourself, of course, included, and all the live stewards, because that is just a mega job. I've only been in here for 2.5 hours, mate. I can't take much credit here. I'll take a little pat on the back, but nothing as much as what everyone else who's been participating in the races has been doing out there.
It's still 4 hours, and yeah, we appreciate that. I mean, you know how much we appreciate it, even if it's just a sprint race of 90 minutes. So especially 4 hours, and especially with you guys doing this for free. And yeah, I've said this yesterday when John was in the stream as well. But yeah, your technical expertise has been, well, instrumental in making much of this happen. For instance, look at that nice donation incentives box that you see scrolling there on the right of the screen. On Friday night, we had a small emergency and a small emergency meeting, and George, that you can hear doing the commentary just now on behalf of Ravencomms, quickly was able to make a nice little something to well, sort of mitigate that emergency as best as he could. So yeah, your expertise, your knowledge in this has been awesome, and yeah, makes it so much better. I will absolutely say that as much as I loved being part of the broadcast team last year, yeah, we've definitely learned a lot from you guys, and there's a couple small things that you can see left and right, things popping up in the stream as well, just small things that yeah, we perhaps didn't really know about, and yeah, that's exactly where your experience came in, and yeah, helped us out immensely and continues to help us out. So yeah, thank you very much, and you definitely deserve more than a pat on the back. So
oh, that is appreciated. No, it's an absolute pleasure for us to be involved with you guys at DC-SimRacing. You know, we've got a lot of respect for what you guys do, and you put on great races, and that's what we love as commentators. We love to get involved in great racing, and you know, we've seen some great racing out here today. We've seen great racing in the other series that you guys have run at DC-SimRacing. So, you know, everyone in DC League should be absolutely proud as well. And yourself, of course, Daniel, you know, you do so much for the guys out in the circuit to go and enjoy their hobby, enjoy what's out on track. So, you know, us in the commentary box yelling into a microphone, that still takes the big pat on the back at the end of the day. Sorry, you take the big pat on the back at the end of the day. We come here and we enjoy the racing that you've organised and that the drivers put on for us. So thank you very much. We've got a Viratage in chat as well saying, good morning, how are you doing? Finally some conditions where our Boatly is in its element. Yes. So that is P24 at the moment, the 87 car. We also had a request to be on board with the 971 car, an Australian driving. So someone very close to my side of the world. We've got another issue as well with the 31 car. Something has happened with the 31 car, and I'm trying to find them out on track. There it is, Schmidt. So Schmidt might have had a bit of a problem. 30-second penalty. So gruesome, that I believe, that is happy hour in full swing right there. That is great fun.
I'm guessing that because Mr. Gruesome just asked us for the link. I can, yeah, so I can deduce what has happened here.
Can I maybe alliterate the words that Gruesome Man has put in the chat? Oh no! What happened to 31? Yes, I think we know what's happened to 31. Our donator called Meep Meep, making all the jokes at the moment and bringing us a good time here. So yes, that was a happy hour donation. If you don't know, for the next 36 minutes we do have happy hour. So for $25 donation, you do get to apply a 30-second penalty to any car out on track, including yourselves, if you really want to suffer, if you really want to tease your teammates. That is entirely your decision to make, but nonetheless, that is exactly what's happened. So Schmidt may be rapidly trying to arrange with his team to figure something out as well. The 79 car also suffering quite a bit. There's been a lot of contention with the 79 car. There's I think they had something like 60 seconds of penalties they had against their names. That has now been cleared, so thank you very much for that. And we are now $40 away from $6,500 being raised for Make-A-Wish Foundation. You all deserve a pat on the back because that is a huge amount of money. Well done to everyone out on track and all of our viewers on the YouTube channel, and of course yourself, Daniel, and the team. $6,500 is just around the corner, and that is a big milestone for us here in the donations. We've also got our Styles putting some muscles in chat. Thank you very much for the emojis. We do love to see it. And then of course we've got Kevin VER there asking to show the 69 car. Yes, we can indeed do that. And I've been you know, I didn't do this with your permission, Daniel, but I did say, look, the free incentive here. Do feel free to engage in chat, and if you engage in chat, I'm happy to show whatever car you'd like to out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We love to see the nice liveries out there as well.
We certainly do, and this is quite a good one actually. I really like this sort of what would you call this, Daniel? Sort of a sci-fi Audi, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks really nice and well, futuristic, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's the word. Yeah. So out on track at the moment, damp conditions are out there. The rain is, I think it's still slightly coming down in certain areas of the track. Spa is a very big circuit, 7 kilometers all the way around, 20 corners. So you do get the occasional situation where it's raining on some parts of the track, and some parts are not as rainy. There's definitely a dry line that is starting to evolve out there, though. We've got at least 10, possibly 20 minutes of dry conditions ahead of us. I don't believe the circuit's going to return to a greasy situation. We may stay in damp for the next 20 minutes because we do have rain coming in 30 minutes after, or about 10 minutes after the dry conditions finish, so in about 30 minutes. And track temperature continues to rise to 27 degrees out there. There's no wind at all. This dry line is going to evolve very quickly, and I think we're going to have a lot of wet tire runners out there, of which everyone will be running wet tires at this stage after that hour or so of rain has come through. These wet tires are going to get very hot, potentially grain quite a lot, and the PSIs are going to go up. Now, this is something that we had mentioned in the chat before. There's a new quote-unquote meta for wet tire pressures. I don't know, Daniel, if you've actually heard of this yet, but Jardia and his team may have discovered a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a glitch, I wouldn't call it necessarily an exploit, but apparently running 35 PSI on all your tires is apparently a bit faster, which makes no sense at all, because we know that the operating range for wets is somewhere between 29.5 and 31, but apparently it works.
It's amazing that Kunas somehow is able to keep getting this sort of thing in the game. Of course, we had the little toe exploit, so now we have this again. Yeah. I guess I can't judge too hard because, of course, there are so many mechanics in this game. So that's yeah, again, not something that I can judge about, but yeah, it is a bit frustrating, of course, because we have no way to check if people run those exploits. So yeah, all we can do is trust the integrity of our competitors, and yeah, I'm sure there's also downsides to it. So perhaps tire wear is a bit
Exactly.
higher.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going out there and suddenly changing your wet strategy to 35 psi. I can tell you, you will be having a very, very bad time. We only know about it at one track that Jardia has mentioned, and it's all speculation at this point. So just keep that in mind for all of those of you who are looking at Twitter and watching that thread and listening to us here. We're certainly not condoning going and setting tires to 35 psi, but yeah, it certainly is one of those interesting things, as you did mention, Kuno. It's amazing that what can occasionally slip into the game, but nonetheless, we digress. And the game has proved me wrong here. It does that quite often, but it has done so. I said we're not going to get back to greasy, and there it is. It's already greasy. So I kind of contradicted myself, Daniel. I said the track temp is increasing rapidly. We're in dry conditions. There's a dry line, but I don't think it'll go greasy. Well, it's greasy, so there we go.
Yep, there we go. But do you see that heavy rain coming in then in 30 minutes again? So that's predicted right now. So interesting, because yeah, of course, well, greasy when you get on a drying track. Currently, I would say that well, as it stands right now, well, the track temperature is 27 degrees. So who knows how quickly this will dry up. Let's say that it really takes half an hour for the rain to start falling again. And you have a dry track in that last couple of laps. Well, thinking about that exploit, yes, it's very much speculative if that will really work. But yeah, you could probably make a little go for a little adventure and try to go for 35 psi on your tires just for a few laps. But
just see what happens.
Yeah, if the track dries up, you're out there anyway. You might as well try it, right?
Well, you tried and then you failed, probably. You know, we do see a lot of drivers out there now trying to search for the wet lines out there. Of course, you see the grip is starting to get a little bit here and there, and these tires are starting to get up to some pretty dangerous temperatures. I hope, for the sake of every driver out there, that we don't see a popped tire. That is entirely possible, and I guess that would probably be my suspicion of the downside to running potentially very high PSIs. So be very careful with that. I will just quickly run through a couple of things. We do have a 20 kg ballast reduction donation, so thank you very much for that. We just had a clear time penalty donation and a 30-second time penalty for this 27 car and the 31 car. So these two are battling out on track. There's 3.8 seconds between them at the moment. Let's jump on board with this battle. Here we go, the Porsche, the 31 Porsche and the 27 McLaren in a bit of a battle at the moment, and they're exchanging penalties with donations, which has pushed us, Daniel, above $6,500. We're at $6,560.81. Thank you so much, everyone out there, for your donations. What a milestone.
Yeah, this is amazing. It just goes so incredibly quickly to see that amount raised again and again, and still 1.5 hours to go in the race, of course. So it's not over yet.
Still lots of opportunities. Yeah, exactly right.
Absolutely. I just see. I'm just looking at the event chat as well, because Chief of Incentives, German Daniel, as they've received a minus 20 kilogram donation, which is very much appreciated. Each and every dollar is very much appreciated, of course. But yeah, it doesn't state which car number the incentive should go towards. So, of course, someone is suggesting, well, just give it to the number 9 car then. Of course, he will probably be part of that team, I would suspect. And the crew members in the Bentley are also offering up to take that incentive.
Yeah, too right.
So yeah, someone donated there, but did not.
So Christoph Samin has been in chat as well. I'll read through a few comments in just a second. I believe that Bakal, they just done a driver swap. So they had Krager in the car and the 96 car, and they have just done a driver swap. And I believe this will be, well, this is they've decided, I think, to maybe just, try and save some of the tire life there, or just switch the tires in anticipation of the rain coming through. They don't want to overheat the tires too much, potentially. I don't think they've had a crash out there. And there was, yes, a yellow flag, but that was over in the pit lane. We've had a little bit of a weird thing going on with the server, where as you enter the pit lane, it does signal a yellow flag on the track circuit you can see to the right. But in fact, what is actually going on is they're just cruising down the pit lane, heading towards their pit box. But no, a driver swap has happened. Bakal is now in the 96 car, and they are a pit stop ahead now of P1. Menno is in the car, as you said just before, Daniel, the 112 car. They're currently leading the race, of course, but they will have another pit stop to do. It's a tricky time out on track for everyone. They've got to try and figure out how long their last stint is going to be. At this stage, getting a new driver in the car with 1 hour 35 minutes and a 70-minute stint timer, you are now looking at somewhere around a 25-minute stint towards the end of this race. So you just do another stop, chuck a driver in there for 25 minutes. You say, absolutely, go ham, go for it. And they have a nice 25-minute short stint, which I'm sure will feel like a pleasant stroll through the woods for those who are in a comfortable position out there in the race, with a nice gap behind them to the car that they are fighting, most likely. But there will be some hard decisions for the teams to be making in a little bit. A lot of cars will be trying to get, have tried to align their stints throughout the 24-hour race so that they can, oh, that was a very wide line there. I get the feeling that the 96 car is either on very, very hot, wet tires, or is on dry tires and trying desperately to stay on that slightly evolving dry line. This could be the shortest stint here. Maybe they're thinking, because they did run about 4 laps as the weather came in, and there's only light rain predicted in 10 minutes. So they did this before, where they ran 4 or 5 laps, about 10 minutes or so. They need to get 23 minutes further before they do another pit stop to get a final driver stint across the line. So this could be a fast stint here. They've just decided, look, let's go into the dries, let's try and get through. Oh yeah, look at that, just not making any corners at the moment. That's trouble for them, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting choice, but yeah, let's definitely keep an eye out for those lap times, because well, if we start seeing them become a lot quicker, then yeah, that might be beneficial for them, might be to their advantage. But yeah, so far, yeah, it is a huge risk, of course, as we see them going through the grass there as well. Oh, with more grass.
I think I know what's going on here. The grass usually, on occasion, can hold a little bit more moisture because you're not got cars driving over it. So it's potential that they are actually on the wet tires. And what we're seeing here, yeah, because that looks rather purposeful. I've got to be honest with you. That's 2 times in a row where they've decided to run over the grass. I think they're on wet. I think they've gone straight back onto the wet tire here. So they're maybe trying to go for a 70-minute stint now, hoping that the last 25 minutes will be in the dry. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that.
We'll see.
That does look like it, as you say.
We will see.
Just, checking out a couple of technical things in the meantime. So
no worries at all. I will continue to bring us the live commentary through here. Of course, I do have to plug a few things as well. We've got our sponsors, so please do note a big thank you to all our sponsors out there. KNAF, we've got Hedgehog, Coach Dave Academy, Just Printing, and Hats Curse as well. So all of them, thank you very much. It's really, really appreciated, and I will respond, of course, to the chat messages as well from Christoph Samin. Thank you very much for your messages. He's got an idea. You've got an idea for the next event incentives at a commentator's curse in a happy hour. You guys roll a dice in the commentary box, excuse me, and different penalties are linked to the amount of eyes of the dice. Wow. Very interesting concept there. I think we might have to attach some sort of required donation there. Maybe what we do is we say for the 24 hours, every time the commentators make a curse, they have to donate. But I do like your idea there, Christoph. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for your comment there saying, great commentating, guys. Keep up the good work. That is really appreciated. You're also saying, like the iRacing hack. So I don't actually know of that hack in iRacing. Interestingly, though, Bakal here not opting to try and find a bit of wet patch of ground to drive over, tarmac to drive over on the Kemmel Straight. So either the car has come back to him, or he's just saying, yep, let's just go. The track has now evolved back to the fast condition. So it is very, very hard for those wet tires to find the grip out there. They'll be overheating significantly in this race now. And for all of those who have chosen to go back onto the wet tyre, this is going to be a very, very interesting next 10 or so minutes, because they'll be hoping that rain comes back as soon as possible. And if it does not, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. Even when the rain does start coming down, it's going to be a little while before you get the damp conditions return. We're now actually up to optimum track conditions, so the track has evolved incredibly quickly. If there are any cars out there that have decided to go for maybe a 15 or 20-minute quick dry run, they'll be absolutely in heaven at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on the lap times out there. I don't believe we have anyone currently running a dry tyre out there at all, so no one opting for that, because of course this is right in the middle and towards the end of one of their stints, and if they're only going to do one more pit stop in this race, they have to get at least the next 20 or 25 minutes in the car before they do their final pit stop of the race. That is going to be absolutely critical for all of these teams out there. In the top 10 at the moment, we're on board with the 31 car, the Porsche, which has had its 30-second penalty cleared through a donation incentive. So thank you very much for that. We've got the car ahead, driven by DeLange at the moment, or DeLange at the moment, in the 27 car. They still have their 30-second penalty. There's a bit of a happy hour war going on between these two. And of course, as I do mention happy hour, do remember that happy hour continues at the moment. We've got, I believe, 21 minutes remaining of happy hour. So for $25 US donation, you can add a 30-second time penalty to your opponent's car out there. Just make sure you do mention the car in the donation chat, and do tag a steward as well. That is very, very important. Otherwise, we do not know who that penalty is applying to. So I just want to illustrate this as well. There will be a yellow flag moment here for the 13 cars that enter the pits. They are just entering the pits. There is no issue for them out on track. So the leader at the moment, provisionally leading the race, Menno is in the car at the moment, so one of our amazing admins and stewards who does a whole bunch of work in the background, who's critical to the DC League, doing an incredible job out there, both in the background of the race and also out on track, currently running for the 112 car for DC-SimRacing in their BMW. Two BMWs leading the way, followed by two McLarens out on track and then a Lamborghini. This position will likely switch back around as we do head in towards the final part of this race. Only 1 hour and 28 minutes remaining, 22 hours. See, I can't do math, I told you all. 22 hours and 30 minutes gone in this, and the rain returns. So do let us know if you're excited for this next patch of rain, because if we look at the radar here, it is going to get very, very, very wet. We've got downpour plus happening in 30 minutes. So these optimum track conditions are going to disappear before you blink. So do not blink. Stay tuned. Mark Gibson in the chat saying rain is back. Yes, it is. And I am rubbing my hands together. I'm excited. I love mixed conditions. The track has already moved back to fast. It'll be getting slippery out there. All those who are running on incredibly hot, wet tires are going to be thanking the heavens for opening up and letting the rain fall. Gruesome Man back in chat as well saying more carnage. Yes, that's right. Just as you're getting used to having the grip again, it's ripped away from you, and suddenly you're finding yourself back where you were about 45 minutes ago in the heavy rain. And we do love to see it. This is very exciting. I absolutely love these conditions. More penalties being applied. So another donation there for happy hour. 30 seconds additional being applied for the 27 car. We've got a bit of avoiding action there from a McLaren who does end up getting out of the way of the 77 car. And you can already see a little bit of a tank slapper there for the 777 car. Not able to get the power down. On the curb they run. And this is going to allow the 31 Porsche to maybe make a move around the outside of La Source. Can he make it happen? No, there's not a lot of grip anywhere out on circuit. The inside line is definitely going to be the optimal place to be. Just a little bit more grip there for that McLaren. And away they go, in still holding on to the P7 position in this race. The 27 car in behind P9, who's not on our screens at the moment, is holding on to 60 seconds of penalties. So do enjoy that. Thank you for the donations. That is much, much appreciated. We do also have a 30-second time penalty for the 96 car coming through as well. Happy hour is absolutely going like a great party out there, as it should be. Oh, that is very, very wide, and Lakumi's gone completely off the track, and oh dear, the car in behind has gone for a spin, and that is a major problem there for the 777 car. I think they just decided, look, I don't want to be in this right now. Let's just get out of that and continue our race. But there was some real action going on. So that was the DeLange car there. So 27 car having a major spin out, being the one who was overtaken throughout that. So I got that slightly mixed up there. We did have some blue flag traffic mixed up in that. And that was these two cars battling for P8 and P9 were blue flagged against the 777 car, sorry, who is running P3. So my apologies there for getting that slightly mixed up. Hashtag make sure you look at the timing screens properly, Mr. Commentator. That is very, very important. So the 96 car in P2 getting a 30-second penalty out on track. And that is our provisional, technically our leader of the race, provisional lead of the race still goes to the 112 car. You can see on the timing tower to your left, still leading the race overall. But yes, DeLange here having a spin at Lecombe, and unfortunately for the 27 car, they've got 60 seconds of penalties, so they might be looking to make some donation incentives to try and cut that down. Track now back to the damp conditions, and it is getting cooler out there, 1 degree Celsius reduced already in this race. And we do have another donation, so thank you very much from Delicate Snowflake 747. Thank you very much for the donation of $75 there, coming through a advantage being given to the 373 car. I won't tell you what it is. I'll let everyone go ahead and guess what has gone on there. You can see the donation incentives rolling through your screen on the bottom right hand side of the corner. This is open to everyone on the stream, and of course our donation links are in the description of the chat, so please do take a look at those. And if you want to get involved, we are donating to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, who are providing support for children with critical illnesses. It is a amazing foundation. They do unbelievably amazing work out there in the world. So every single donation, whilst we are causing chaos out on track and also helping ourselves win races or get positions, it is actually, in fact, the children that get the benefit. So that is an absolutely amazing. This race that has been organised today is absolutely amazing. Lots of blue flag traffic being navigated now by some of our leaders as things do start to get shifted up and mixed around, with 1 hour and 23 minutes left on the clock. And, you know, we've got a huge donation total in there now. The 112 car will be a little bit frustrated with the traffic it's got ahead. Got a Porsche and then the number 9 Lamborghini to navigate. And we've got some additional happy hour donations coming in with 15 minutes remaining for happy hour. Your time is running very, very short. $25 donation will get you the ability to give a penalty of 30 seconds to an opponent. And we do have more time penalties coming through for the 27 car. I believe that could be up to, no, that's not nice. That's just 30 seconds at the moment, as we did have the some penalties cleared as well. The number 9 car goes for an excursion off the track at Lecombe. That's one way to give way to a blue flag. So that has certainly happened out on track. In the pits is the 79 car, Cass Bergen in the car. I suspect they'll be changing the driver out and trying to get through to their final stint of the race, although that is unfortunate timing. 70-minute is the stint timer out there, so that does mean that when the 1 hour and 10-minute mark comes through, any pit stops done after that are going to be the last pit stops, hopefully, done for the cars out on track. So that's what the cars and the drivers and the teams are aiming for. Get to that 1 hour and 10-minute mark, and then that is your final pit stop out in the race. Viratage in chat saying, doing my little rain dance to keep it like this for the remainder of the race. Absolutely, yes. Gruesome Man saying, rest in peace, number 27. Yes, number 27 is getting pretty beat up out there with the donations. Happy hour turning into a bit of a sad hour for 27. They might have to be reaching into their pockets to keep themselves in P9 position. They were in a battle with Schmidt. He's in the 31 car at the moment. Those two were very close out on track. That gap has started to expand a little bit. Schmidt got past who we're on board with now, and they did start to make some waves in this race, looking very, very quick in the last 10 or so minutes out on track. Some very heavy rain on the way, so while we are at wet track conditions now, there will be even more rain on the way in about 30 minutes. Tim Troquette as well in chat, reminding us about happy hour. The final happy hour will be starting at 11 a.m. And this time, things are going to be changing. So we've, on the back of one happy hour that will be ending in 13 minutes, which is the 30-second penalties, we're going to be replacing it with another one. Look at the lack of grip out there for all these cars. Everyone missing the entry into the first part of the Lacombe, turn 4 and turn 5, depending on the track map that you use. This is why we like to use the corner names here, which of course does get a little bit complicated when we get to No Name Corner, which I do believe has a name now. So maybe someone in chat can remind me of what that is, but we do actually have a name for it.
I'm not sure, but I do hear it calling it No Name. I hear, sorry, I heard Menno call it No Name yesterday, so I'm not sure.
Yes.
Maybe he's saying that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still No Name. I think we're all so familiar with the No Name Corner that it's just easier to remember it as No Name rather than worry about what it's actually been called. But I believe Francorchamps have given it a name. I think it is called something now. I just don't know what it is.
Do a quick Google. Setting the record straight on the corner names of Francorchamps. Let's see. This is a pretty old post, but yeah, let's just do some live investigating.
Yes, I think that's a good. If not, we're going to give it a name, okay?
Yeah, sure. And everyone will use that name from now on.
Exactly right. I've done this recently on a Gran Turismo stream. Grand Valley does not have corner names, so we came up with our own. Serpentine 1, Serpentine 2, Seal, Wings, Eagle's Perch. Oh, it was great fun.
Oh, but this one does actually have a name there, George, because it's called Speaker's Corner, renamed to Jackie X in 2018.
Ah.
It's not No Name.
There we go.
It's not No Name, and it's there's a jab there to Martin and Crofty of the Formula One, I think Sky Team, I think it is.
Yes, but, they've been propagating a lie. There we go. Don't trust the Sky Sports F1 team. They're full of misinformation. No, I'm just kidding. But I think they had a similar thing with Suzuka, where they had a Casio Triangle has actually got a couple of different names, but it's been called that for so long. So everyone was getting a bit confused with it. Okay, so Jackie X Corner or Speaker's Corner is the one. Well, I think that's the second track corner that Jackie X has been named after. I believe at Zolder, there's Jackie X Corner as well. I think
I think you're right.
Yeah, turn 10 or turn 11, I believe. So not the only corner that Jackie X is known from. And, obviously very, very famous motorsports driver. So if you don't know about Jackie X, then please do go and do a Google. The last name's spelt very interestingly, ICKX. XV, VX, I think it was just X at the end. I think it's just X at the end.
Well, I don't know if I still have the article open. ICKX, yeah, that's,
there we go.
That's the one.
There we go. So do go and do some research if you are interested. Zolder is a great place for those sorts of things. They have every single corner is named after a famous racer, usually a Belgian racer. And then, of course, you've also got Valencia, named after MotoGP drivers. Racers. What do you call them? Riders. Riders.
Bikers, maybe?
Bikers, yeah.
Bikers sounds a bit like bearded guys.
Yeah, Harley Davidson, Valencia, folks. It's going to be a new season, a new series of chaos. The slowest motorbike race you've seen in a while, but the noisiest by a long shot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they have the highest average age. Okay, I better stop before we get into dangerous territory there with stereotyping Harley Davidson riders. There's a lot out there that are young, hip, cool. In fact, I think Harley Davidson have a electric bike these days as well. So very interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I think they do. Whether they put it into production or not is another question. But I will finally get to this message from Tim Croquet. So at 11 a.m., so in about 9 minutes, we were going to have another happy hour out there. And this time, minus 40 kgs for the remainder of the race for $35 and plus 40 kg for the remainder of the race for $30. 30-second time penalty for $25 and stop-go 30s for $60. Clearing them will cost you $40. So all of the penalties and ballast, most of the ballast donation incentives will be significantly reduced during the happy hour. And we will make sure that we do repeat that information as much as possible because there's a lot in there to digest. But all of the mess with your opponent's donation incentives there, Daniel, all becoming rather cheap.
Yeah, I mean...
and we've had Sorry to interrupt. We just had a major problem there for the 777 car. I believe it was the 777 car. Oh, dear. I think they might have had a disconnect. I think we might have had a disconnect from the 777 car. They are no longer on the server. I did see them fly into a wall, and I thought that might have just been a bit of lag. Oh, so our P3 running 777 team have disconnected from the server with 1 hour, 15 minutes remaining. Let's hope that they can get back in.
That I'm gutted for them with a bit more than an hour to go.
Yeah, that is
so sad.
Agree. That is a real shame for them, and they've been such good racers out there. They've been participating so well in this race. Let's hold our breath, everyone, and hope the 777 car can return into this race. Unfortunately, they will be probably losing a lot of time out there. They were pretty much on the same lap, I think 1 lap ahead of Rainer Zockling in the 373 car, who were their primary competitors. So the 373 car will be elevated back up. And yes, they are back in. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so the 777 car, Hatak at the wheel, back into the race. They are now nearly a lap down on where they were, and they will be in 5th positions. They've got a lot of work to do. That might be a good excuse for them to get their pocketbook out and make some donations and really hamper the cars in front of them. I think they're just about to start the car and get out. Schubert is now in the vehicle. Hopefully see them get back out on track as soon as possible. And we do have some more donations as well that have come through, so thank you so much, everyone. This is amazing what is going on right now. Tim Troquet as well, just confirming penalties will be very annoying, but everything for charity and madness. Exactly. Let the chaos ensue, folks.
Yes, absolutely, and that was what I was going to say. I mean, we were discussing, and that's really the thing. That's the, I would say, the bottom line. And I was discussing this with someone yesterday. I can't even remember who I was talking to about it, but I think it was one of my teammates. I mean, Menno and myself, we're Dutch guys. We're, well, I don't know if sober is the right word, but in Dutch we say nuchter. I mean, basically saying, yeah, let's not do anything too crazy. So when we of course last year it was Daniel that suggested to for our last year's event. He already suggested to get these kinds of incentives on board, and we were kind of let's see the 28 car off track there, but we were reluctant. Because, you know, yeah, again, we don't want to do anything too crazy. Yeah, let's hold back on that. People might not like that. So yeah, we appreciated the feedback that Daniel gave us then, but we didn't do anything with it. We're able to raise $5,000, so still very happy. But yeah, this year, of course, we teamed up with Daniel and Fun Racing, and well, we absolutely went on board with the incentives. Just to give it a try, I guess. But yeah, Daniel was just brilliant with these things. I couldn't say anything else, because let me tell you that Menno and myself were discussing this an hour ago. And again, it's the Dutch, maybe it's the Dutch mentality. I can tell you that Menno and myself are both from, well, probably the most, well, how do you say? I'm looking for the word. It's not sober. It's, yeah, we're just really... We don't like crazy things. Let's say.
Yes. Risk averse. You're the risk averse.
Well, yeah. I guess that will be a good
one way of saying it.
That's absolutely one way of saying it. So we were discussing this an hour ago, and we were saying, yeah, well, do we want to do that in the last hour? Put the entire race on its head, or let's do another happy hour, but yeah, let's not go overboard. But Daniel goes ahead and goes overboard, and I'm sure that, I mean, of course, the pockets are getting emptier. We have to probably look at where we spend our money now, but still, yeah, We're doing everything we can to make this as attractive as possible. And yeah, now Daniel has made this decision. I completely stand behind it, and I know it's... I think that $7,500 might be very much in reach now. So that's very much a huge thank you for his amazing, well, for our amazing partnership, I should say. Because that's a huge part in making this such a success. They took what they did last year. Again, they raised $1,200, and yeah, they. I think we maybe while they're course, a community themselves, but we're using the ACC platform in which we have plenty of experience. Yeah, I think this is an awesome partnership between us, where we have been able to raise this amount of money already, and with a couple of minutes to go for that final blast of a happy hour, I'm sure that we might be able to reach that 7,500 dollar goal there, guys.
Absolutely, it's
amazing.
It's definitely in reach, and I mean, $6,785.81 already raised in this race, and a big thanks in part to the donation incentives that have made this an absolutely wild race to be bear witness to. It's absolutely awesome to see the drivers be able to affect other drivers out there, give themselves advantages, clear their own penalties. I think that's a very, very exciting way. Maybe we need to modify this for exercise or something like that at some point for a non-charity event. You do 100 push-ups and you get to clear a drive-through penalty once in a race. You can have a dedicated fitness person. I certainly won't be volunteering for that, but nonetheless, that could be a bit of fun. But this has been a fantastic situation here. We've got Daniel in chat as well, saying final happy hour sale in a few minutes. Exactly right. So 1 minute to go, really, isn't it? And then we'll be into the last happy hour, where basically most of the donation incentives go on discount.
I love what Tim says as well. You already read it, but the penalties will be very annoying. But everything for charity and madness. Again, you already said that, but yeah, I love it.
Yes, what's
absolutely. And Tim, also one of the guys, of course, here, one of our volunteers, very much. Oh yeah, grab your credit cards and help us cross the 7K milestone. Well, I'm already dreaming of the $7,500 milestone, but yeah, let's first go for that 7,000. We still have more than an hour to go, so yeah, guys, we can do this.
That's right.
I
Lots
know
of time remaining.
Because I can also tell you, George, that there's another couple of bucks that have come in on the GoFundMe account, so I'll transfer that as well. So
excellent.
There's another. Well, let me just quickly calculate that towards dollars, and then I'll get back to you on that.
Sounds very good. Yes, very exciting to see what is going to happen in the remaining part of this race. We've got another $30 donation coming in for a donation incentive. Thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. Jacob Hart jumps into the pits, and I was about to mention we do have now 68 minutes remaining in this race. That means we are now within the final stint timer of this race. Final pit stops for the drivers and the teams will be getting calculated out there. The final driver will be jumping into the car 30 minutes ahead of us. We still do have rain on the horizon for looks like potentially the remaining part of this race. Let's hope that it continues, because this is so much fun in the wet with our donation incentives and a huge amount of money raised in the kitty. Thank you so much. Oh wow, there we go. So Daniel, give us an update on the amount.
Wow, oh my god. I didn't even transfer it yet.
Oh, I see.
I didn't even transfer what I was going to transfer, but we're already over 7,000, guys. Oh my god.
We've just made a very large jump there, and thank you so much. Whoever has just donated there, or the combination of all who've just donated, have pushed us well over the $7,000 mark raised for Make-for-Wish donation charity foundation out there. That is absolutely massive. $7,295.81. We're still calculating the GoFundMe side of things. This is absolutely amazing to see. We are very, very close. We are $205, and I won't do math on stream, but $204.19 away from hitting the $7,500 mark. And this is all credit to all the drivers, all the generous donations out there from everyone on track, everyone who's been watching, the admins in the background, everyone on track. This has been unbelievable. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I'm almost speechless, and that doesn't happen often to a windbag like me. So yeah, well done, everyone.
I'm actually. I mean, I've had 1 hour of sleep, so I'm a bit of an emotional wreck, I guess. But yeah, I'm actually ever so slightly tearing up. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and
I think we will definitely reach that 7,500 goal, because again, there's still money coming our way, and we still the happy hour just started, that final happy hour. So yeah. Wow.
Indeed, that is amazing.
I'm speechless.
We've got Antelope AUT in the chat saying somebody just anonymously donated $480 on the Firefly stream. Thank you. Yes, a huge thank you to that donator. That is absolutely massive. That has pushed up our total by a very, very significant amount. And it is honestly, Daniel, this amount of money for charity is something that is absolutely worth getting emotional about. This is huge, and this makes a massive difference out there. Thank you so much. You know, we talk about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the good work they do. This is making wishes come true. This is genuine. This is the genuine article, and that is a huge amount of money. We've got Sim Racing as well in there saying, well done, commentators, good race. Shame we had some issues. Yes, indeed. Commiserations to yourself and your team. Daniel Van Dyke is in the chat as well. Go and watch Car 500. He is doing a double stint to the end right now. Give him some love. Absolutely. Let's go on board with the 500 car. Of course, I'm still offering the broadcasters free incentive here, totally free of charge. If you do want to see a car on track, do just give us the word and we will try and spend some time focusing in on them. The 387 car has been given a 30-second penalty, so they can go and enjoy that. Tim Hogden's on saying, car 500, not last. Yeah, that's right. In fact, you're third to last, so very much not last at the moment, and doing very well. 1 lap ahead of P32 and 11 laps, ahead of the final car in this race, the 25 BMW. I will also just give us an update on the 777 car that had the disconnect earlier on. Till Schubert is now in the car, and they have got going. Unfortunately for them, they've dropped back from P3 to P7 in this race. That's a real shame for them and their overall hopes in this race, but nonetheless they have done incredible work today with their donations and participating in the chaos that has been out on track. So we do thank the 777 team as well for their work out on track and providing some great and entertaining racing out there for them. I'm just very glad, Daniel, that they were able to get going again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the goal, right? Having fun, but of course you want to finish the race. It's 24 hours. You want to finish it. It would be been such a shame if they would not have been able to continue. So yeah, that's really happy for them. Exactly. I'm still trying to work out that it's going to be $120. So we'll see that appear soon, and I'll read out the names as well of the people that have donated in the last couple of hours on the GoFundMe page.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
exactly. Yeah, here we are. It's now 11 a.m. out on track, and that does mean that we are 5 minutes into our next happy hour, the last one of the event, which is happening. I think that is for the remaining part of the race. So I will post again the donation incentives that have been reduced in price. So some real fun ones out there. So if you want to cause some chaos, now is the time to do it. Or give yourself an advantage. Cause some chaos or give yourself an advantage. That is absolutely key. We did just nearly see Cass Bergen. They go right into the back of I think that was the 31 Porsche. They have come out ahead of Matheson in the number 9 Lamborghini, but I believe they do have to pit again. So the 79 car not out of the woods just yet. We will be seeing a final pit stop from some out there soon. Aaron Barkal in the 96 car, I believe now only 24 seconds behind the 112 car. I think they've come in for their final pit stop. I don't think Barkal will be going to the end, as he will reach his stint timer. So we will have to keep a very close eye on the lead of this race. But right now, the 112 car for DC-SimRacing with Nick Timmermans in the cockpit is leading our race and leading it by 22.8 seconds out there on track. And oh, we've had a huge spin. Okay, this is not good news for the QRT Esports team. They have the 79 car there running in P4, has gone for a bit of a spin, maybe a bit of contact involved there down at Speaker's Corners, the Jackie X corner, the formerly known as the No-Name corner, now known as the Has-Name corner. I think that's the new name for it, isn't it? It's Has-Name corner.
Yeah, it should be.
There we go. We've figured it out. We've figured out the puzzle. So they're now going to be under pressure from the car in behind, which actually is blue flag traffic. But they're going to be a little bit worried now that 4.5 seconds down the road is Matheson in the number 9 Lamborghini. Question mark still remains a little bit, though, over whether or not we've got more pits to go. Heaviest rain is coming up very, very soon, 30 minutes out. So this is going to get very, very fun, Daniel, because this track could potentially go up to its maximum wet condition. So it could potentially go flooded if we get enough rain out there, although I'm a little bit skeptical, but so far the weather has proven me utterly wrong at every single turn. The second I say something, and the weather goes and does something completely different. So I do expect that to potentially either not happen or happen a lot sooner than we thought. Track temperatures continue to drop out there as well, so the conditions getting more and more challenging. With happy hour running as well, your donation incentives have more of an impact for less hit on the credit card, so to speak, but we hope to see some more donations coming in to really spice things up. With now 1 hour 40 seconds remaining, 23 hours, or I should do this properly, 22 hours 59 minutes and 25 seconds done in this race, and the final hour does now approach us for the DC-SimRacing 24 Hours of Spa for Make-A-Wish Foundation. All your donations, of course, going to Make-A-Wish, and we have done, well, you guys have all done incredible things. I'm just here yelling into a microphone, but honestly, it's been incredible to be here and witness what an event we've had today. It's just been incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there you go. I just transferred that final $120 of the GoFundMe account that we received the last 14 hours. So thank you for Hieke Kramer, Jetty van der Molen, Marvin Don, and Bram Kraan, who actually bought a 30-second bought off a 30-second penalty, which he did through GoFundMe, which is normally not the way we do things, which I told Bram, so he knows that now. But of course we can do that, but yeah. It's not ideal, of course, because we have so many things to do here right now, but it's still very much appreciated, of course, each and every dollar. Well, $75 to go. That's not even correct, is it?
I don't think your math is quite right, but you can be forgiven. You have had 1 hour's sleep in the last 24 hours. Yes, that is 85. Well, to be precise, $84.19 there, Daniel. But
yes.
See, I told you my math does get better as I do it more across the stream.
Well,
but still pretty useless.
If you see someone make such a blatant mistake, at least you can correct it. So your math is good enough for that.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we've got a message in from Antelope AUT, the 777 team: Lucas Koenig, Till Schubert, Tim Stelling, Philip Eckert, and Chris Hatak. Sorry, my pronunciations. Say thanks for the race and glorious opportunity to do a good deed. Thanks for the stream and all the hard work. I think, Daniel, that is directed to you and the team. And thank you very much, the 777 team. You guys have put on an amazing race for us today.
Yes, very, very much appreciated. And again, of course, thanks to everyone donating so far. And yeah, the teams, the sponsors, we've got some awesome prizes. I think we've already, it's kind of went past me because I was in the car at that moment and doing broadcasts and being very tired in general. But I think we might have already given out a few prizes, or at least allocated them. So yeah, we'll definitely get back to everyone about the prizes in the coming week. And see who gets what. Of course, this was never about the prizes, but we do very much appreciate our sponsors for giving them out and yeah, just giving a bit back to the awesome people who have donated today. So yeah, Knaf, Hedgehog, and let me get my list there because I don't want to forget anyone with my 1 hour of sleep. But yeah, maybe I don't want to throw you under the bus, George, but I don't know if you have the document open somewhere. So,
I think I do.
Yeah, that's of course Coach Dave. I'm going here from the top of my head now. So that's Coach Dave Academy. There's Hartskunst, I think it was.
Yes.
And
we've got KNAF.
Yeah, Knaf. Yeah.
And we've got Hedgehog and Just Printing as well. So
yes,
those are. Yes. Yeah, exactly. A big thank you to all the sponsors. Yeah, they're absolutely. As you said, it's not about the prizes, it's about the charity, it's about the donations, it's about having fun out there. Whoa, that's the HRE car going for quite the excursion there. And, oh, they can't park there. Please don't park there. The HSE, I should say, getting out of the way of the other cars and sacrificing a little bit of track damage there. But no, you're absolutely right. Thank you to our sponsors Coach Dave Academy, KNAF, Hedgehog, Just Printing, and Huts Kurst there. Absolute legends for being part of this race today. Honestly, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Lost for words, really. So just a little less than an hour to go. It is happy hour, so please do make those final donations. And
we do have a bit more information here from Daniel Van Dyke. Parket Tree is sponsoring as well, so thank you to them too.
Ah, awesome. Yeah, huge shout out to them as well. That he's sponsoring me and our 2 teams. Well, awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, I've seen a couple of guys, of course, doing their own stream, and they also have their sponsors. So, yeah, obviously a huge thanks to them as well. And I know your streamers will have give you the attention that you deserve. Yeah, this is all the companies, all the people involved in making this possible. So we see another couple of dollars coming in. Thank you. Yeah, just a couple of. Again, as I just said, I know the pockets. I'm beginning to see the end of my pockets. So I do have a bit of a budget. I think I spent $200 or $300, not sure. But so of course. Oh yeah, and I still have to pay Jochen Cambrai as well. So I'm seeing the end of my pockets. But
yes, the pocketbook getting.
Company is my own company. I'm sponsoring. Yeah, I know how it feels because I always say that Mets IT is sponsoring as well, which is basically I'm an independent contractor, so it doesn't mean a thing. But it does sound very interesting, of course. So
indeed. We do have the 96 car coming in for their last pit stop. They'll have 53 minutes or so in this final stint. The rain does not look like it's letting up at all. The 373 car is currently in P3, and Nick Timmermans in the 112 car still out there on track, doing very, very well. They will, I suspect, be coming into the pit stop in the next 15 or so minutes. So something to keep an eye on. This battle for P1 is absolutely not over, although it definitely has swung in the way of the 112 car for DC-SimRacing. They're definitely looking in prime position right now. I did suspect a while back that we had a bit of an odd overlap of strategies going on, and that did look to be the case up until DC-SimRacing did manage to get back in the lead. So that does mix things up a little bit. I was expecting to see the 96 car up there in the lead all the way through. They are Timmermans here is following the sister car of the Limart esports team, whose other car is now coming out of the pits. So nearly a lap down now is the 96 car on the 112 car, but the 112 car will have to come to the pits. So really, it's now all up to Bakal here. Can he make this last stint count? That's going to be the absolute critical thing. Rainer Zockling is in the car now for the 373 car. We've got Matheson still in the car for the number 9 Lamborghini, who I believe will probably be coming into the pits as well in relatively short order. The number 5 QRT car right on their back, only 4.5 seconds separating P4 and P5 in this race at the moment. Of course, with the donation incentives being right there and on discount, so do see the rest of chat for those discounts. You can really make an impact at this point, because it's it's closer than a lot of 24-hour races do end up at the end of this race. We've got 2 cars on the lead lap, then we've got 4 cars sitting on lap 574 at the moment, with another 4 cars on lap 573. So all the way down to P10 at the moment. It is still absolutely all to play for, and the donation incentives could really mix this up. So if you want to gain a couple of positions there, maybe put yourself in range of a prize, but maybe just get your own back a little bit against one of these drivers. Oh, that's the 500 car in the background there. I was going to say that's a very dangerous place at the top of Radion. Just as you come round onto the Kemmel Straight, there is a big pool of water there. So you've got to be very, very careful. The car does not enjoy that at all, especially when you're flat out and carrying so much speed through the Eau Rouge and Radion complex. Daniel Thielen in the chat saying, too many Daniels in chat. Yes, we've got far too many in there, but you never know. It's another Daniel in the chat. Never hurt anyone, I think.
Oh, no, you can't have enough Daniels, Daniel.
Exactly. Exactly right. We've got one in the commentary box here. That's why it's been such a good time. We've got Tim Hogan Dawn saying Danielception. Yes, I think so. Danception happening everywhere. There's Dans everywhere. Daniel. There we go. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're finally taking off the world, guys.
There we go. Okay, watch out for that. New donation incentive, folks. Remove one Daniel from chat or the commentary box for $5 million. There we go. Antelope saying, we heard you like Daniels, Daniel.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
good.
thinking if I want to say we put Daniels in your Daniel, but
well, that would be Danielception, I believe.
Yeah, it would be. Absolutely.
I love it. Mike Vanderhook in chat as well saying 5 seconds for Ocon. Oh yes, well that could be it. We're talking Formula One here. We've got Krager. I think they're being unlapped. The 373 car there unlapping themselves from this. Good laughs in the chat. Good to have a bit of fun. I think that's one of the things that we haven't maybe talked about as much. We've mentioned it, of course. You know, you've had all of 1 hour sleep. We've had people missing alarms. We've had people having disconnect issues. After 24 hours of this, I think, you know, obviously there's going to be a well-deserved sleep, rest, glass of wine, beer, take your fancy of your favorite habit and go and enjoy that after the race. But after 24 hours, it's that strange feeling of total exhaustion with that satisfaction of completing something. You talked about this earlier, Daniel. You know, you don't want to get halfway through a race. I was going to say at the time, a half-finished race is like a half-finished love affair. You know, you need to get to the end. You need to finish it. It's part of that important, critical justification of the time, money, sweat, tears invested in a race like this.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the entire morning because I was thinking that maybe I would feel a bit empty after this because it's so huge what we're doing and someone is asking for Jack Daniels. Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, not at this hour. I'm absolutely first going to get a couple of hours of sleep. I'm absolutely not diving into a bottle of Jack Daniels after the race. I might be very happy, but I'm not that happy. So I will take 2 sips and I will fall asleep anyway. So it'll be a short party, but.
But a party nonetheless. I mean, whatever the vice is at the end of the day, you know. And I'll be honest with you, like I'm not personally a drinker. I will enjoy occasional bit of whiskey here and there, but for me, the satisfaction is definitely in. You know, we did 24 hours of racing. We got to the end. You know, no matter the result, we did it. I think that's the real feeling that people take away from this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just,
You're right.
Amazing. Again, and I know I keep using words like that, but yeah, that's just because there are no good words to describe it. So
yeah, exactly. Some more comments in the chat. Antelope saying, "Why is all the rum gone? Why is all the rum gone?" That's exactly right. I'll try my best Jack Sparrow impersonation there. Why is all the rum gone? Nonetheless, that was probably a bit of a fail, but we've got Fritz. Oh, you know, I try. We've got Fritz Etius there saying...
I tried to do a Scottish accent yesterday, and I guess John kind of liked it, but...
Yeah, so he says he likes it, but I know from bitter experience not to do an impersonation. Exactly right. I can sometimes get away with it. You know, we've got a good relationship, and I've got a Scottish blood in me, so I can kind of get away with it. But I can see the cringe on his face when I do that. So we'll he's not necessarily the biggest fan, but for anyone who wants to go ahead and impersonate an Australian and New Zealand accent, I will most appreciate that. But good luck with that. It's a bit of a nuanced thing, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But, just do the g'day, mate. You just do the, you know, g'day, mate. How's it going?
Yeah.
And
shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, exactly. Shrimp on the barbie. Get the old jandals on. Although they do call them something else over in Australia, which as a Kiwi I can't agree with. And we won't repeat that on stream either. We've got Fritz Entius saying, good luck everyone. Indeed, good luck for the remaining 46 minutes of this race. 10 minutes out, we have heavy rain conditions coming in, so you think it's bad now out there on track. I can tell you it's going to get a little bit worse for these drivers in their final stint. Please do, of course, check out our donation links down in the stream description, as well as in the chat. Streamlabs is posting that in right now, so do go and consider donating. We are at $7,450.81. We've had some incredibly large and generous donations come in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, and we are now 46 minutes away from the end of this race, hoping to hit that 7,500 mark. We've got happy hour running at the moment. I will post into the YouTube chat the discounts we've got on the donation incentives, which you can see a list of them scrolling through your screens right now in the bottom right-hand corner. But we are reaching the end point of this 24-hour race. The Schmidt in the 31 Porsche there still holding onto a drive-through penalty. We've been on board with Kasbergen, who's only 2.5 seconds now behind a potential P4 finish in this race, which would be amazing work from all of them. Not 100% sure if the number 9 Lamborghini ahead in P4 at the moment needs to pit again. It is quite likely that is going to be the case. And we've got the race led right now by the 112 car, doing incredibly well, representing DC-SimRacing out there. They are absolutely sending it in the last part of this race, but sending it in a safe way. That's the key thing. Safety really does come first at this stage of a 24-hour race.
Oh yeah, you would not want to throw it away right now. That would be a very bad thing to do.
Yeah, exactly right. Daniel's in the chat saying drivers are way too scared to even considering buying an incentive right now. Happy face. Yes, that is entirely possible. Maybe they're saving it for the last 15 minutes. Maybe there's a few there that want to snag their opponents in the last few minutes of the race. Blue flag traffic letting through the 112 car there now on screen. We've got Mike Vanderhoek as well in the chats saying, thanks for all the good racing, everyone. Greets for car 208, yes, and 208 running in P10 at the moment, 20 seconds behind P9 at the moment, so probably unlikely to catch up with them at the end of this race, but they have run a brilliant race out there. Mark Gibson is in the car right now, but the team overall, got Mark Martins, who's been in chat, Mark Gibson, of course, in the car right now, Mike Vanderhoek, who's in chat at the moment, and Rick Kranz as well, all the team doing a fantastic job out on track. It's been a pleasure watching you out there. And we've also got another comment here from Antelope saying, Sasha with a nice 3K kudos drift there. Yes, that's exactly it. You'd like to see it, and the car control required for some of that is pretty intense, I would have to say. I do tend to drift a lot in the wet, but I usually go and meet a lovely chap called Barry R. He's a good friend of mine whenever I get in the car and go driving in the wet. So we've got, in 10 minutes, heavy rain. So heavy rain has begun now, but we've got heavy rain plus on the horizon. A drive-through penalty now for the 941 car. I actually missed what that was for. It might have been track limits. Very easy to get track limits at this stage of the race. The brakes, also, something I haven't mentioned. I mentioned this at the start of my stint about 3 hours ago. And the brakes right now are going to have those little red spots starting to appear. They're going to start getting very, very worn out. So not only are you facing challenging conditions with your exhaustion, your teammates probably egging you on to do something amazing in the last stint of this race, but also heavy rain out there for at least the next 20 minutes. It's a lot of fun, quote unquote, for these drivers out there. Then you add in brake pads that are starting to wear out, and trouble is abound. That's very, very wide there for the 69 car. That could be a track limits penalty for them. And we've also got Rainer Zockling now for Falcon Sim Racing, who are having a brilliant race. They were well down in P8, battling for P7 for most of this, but a series of, from their perspective, fortunate events have actually landed them with a P3 spot. Next car down is the number 9 car in P4. They are a lap down. So at this stage, all things being equal for this team, the Falcon Sim Racing chaps are looking on for a podium finish here today. And that is going to be something that I'm sure they will be celebrating celebrating with much joy if they can bring this McLaren home with 42 minutes on the clock. Antelope saying plus 20 kgs looks like a nice incentive in this weather. Yes, indeed. That's why we put it there. And I do also have to report we have had another donation. So we are now at we've passed our marker of 7,500. We are now at $7,510.81. I am running out of words to describe this. There are not enough adjectives in any language out there in the world to describe how awesome this is. And another one coming in as well. I know who's made this donation as well, but the comment here is absolutely brilliant. 112, sorry guys, but we need $7,500. Absolutely brilliant. And to teammates and colleagues that you know very well.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, but
you love to see
I'm so
it.
sorry,
This is the
guys.
chaos.
I know you want to, you would have loved to win this, and maybe you're still winning this. Who knows? But yeah, we definitely do need $7,500, and we also need to give out that stop and go 30 seconds penalty at some point. So yeah, you can of course buy it off. I mean, you're free to do that, but
or leave it on, and maybe we get a really amazing photo finish to this race. That could really bring it within range. 70 seconds for the pit stop ish. You add 30 seconds to that, and you're suddenly looking like a very, very close race between the top two. That could be very exciting, actually. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We've got Let's Go 88K. I was about to say 80K. Let's Go 8K from Gruesome Man there. I think 80K might be a little bit of a stretch, but we have had just amazing amounts of donations here, so it's incredible. Antelope AUT saying heroic effort for the $7,510. We're now at $7,590.81, thanks to another donation there to clear a drive-through penalty. I wonder who that might be for. That's actually for the 31 car, turns out, so we might have a couple more of those coming through.
But yeah, absolutely true. We can start dreaming about 8,000 now, of course. But I said it $3,000 ago. I think maybe even $4,000 ago. We are already doing an amazing job. Again, each and every dollar is amazing. Each and every contribution, be it in time or in money or in presence in the chat, making this the event that it is. Yeah, whether or your contribution is in the aforementioned things or just, again, the presence, the fun that you bring. Yeah, amazing. And I'm going to get a cup of coffee now.
Excellent. No, excellent. Enjoy that cup of coffee. You absolutely deserve to have more coffee. So we will continue our coverage here as Daniel Metz, who is an incredible part of this organization, leads us away, has been crucial in organizing today's race, and a huge person in the background of this. You folks probably don't understand, or maybe you do, but you may not understand about the effort that goes in behind the scenes of a race like this, and Daniel has been there all the way. Menno, of course, and the rest of the team, all the sponsors as well, who I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later on as well, but they are flashing up at the top right-hand side of your screen. We are now at $7,630. Thank you very much. Another stop-go 30 has been cleared. I wonder who that's for. So the 112 car will not be stopping. So my commentator dream here of close racing at the end of this race slowly fading away, but the point is that we are getting more donation in, and that's the most important thing. Daniel Van Dyke in chat saying, this is too wet. Yes, it's very wet. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm sure the drivers and teams are have their hearts in their throats right now, looking at the end, towards the end of this race, because it is incredibly wet out on track. It's not flooded out there just yet, so the weather proving me wrong as always. If I say something about the weather, just take the opposite and apply it, and you'll pretty much be spot on. But nonetheless, the weather has been throwing a little bit of a curveball, and it looks like it's not going away. We've got 37 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock today, and 30 minutes of rain on the forecasted horizon. The closest battle happening in the top 10 is actually for P4. Matheson is driving away at the moment. 8 seconds up the road is... Matheson is 8 seconds up the road from the 777 car of Schubert. So the Firefly Make-A-Wish team actually making a bit of a resurgence at the end of this race, and they've got 37 minutes to close an 8-second gap at this stage. They're both on equal strategies in terms of their pit stops, both on the same laps at the moment. and they could be doing a pretty nice little bit of work towards the end of this race. The question is, can the Hexagon Nation squads with Russell Matheson at the helm pull out enough of a gap? That's all very close there with the 13 car, the BMW, who is being overtaken there. That's Bierman at the helm of that car in P15. They're not currently in a race really with anyone. Their closest competitor is 35 seconds behind them, or I should say 30 seconds behind them in Christian Gregel, the 815 car. And there's likely not to be a battle between those and their competitor ahead, 14 car, P14 car currently, the 941. That is just, they've just come into the pits, so this will elevate the 13 car. But that was very close for the Lamborghini. I'm sure he was a little bit worried there. Another drive-through has been cleared, so there's that donation incentive going on through. Of course, I mean, you know, I have to give a huge thanks to everyone who's been involved in the background of this race. It's a pleasure to come here in the commentary box and be part of this, because it is a special event. It's going to a very, very, very good cause out there. And, you know, to give our time, you know, what essentially is a very short, relatively short amount of time here for me in the commentary box, we also had Ravencom's lead commentator and owner in John Wright, who took us through the first part. That was a bit of a tank slapper there for Russell. He's just got to hold on to it, man. You just got to hold on to it for the last 35 minutes of this race. But that's no easy thing to be said in these conditions. Nonetheless, I digress, and we get back onto the point of John Wright has been leading us through the commentary earlier on. He's going to be doing a bit more commentary tonight, not here on this stream today. And myself, George Cook, you know, it's been a pleasure for us in Ravencoms to come in and to bring some broadcasting knowledge and our voices to this amazing cause. It's just stunning to see. And we've had another donation come through as well. We're now up to $7,690. It's a sniff away from that $8,000 mark. If we can get to $8,000, this will have been even more of a success. I don't have a superlative word that is bigger than amazing, best. You know, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just astonishing work that is being done. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for donating. Absolutely amazing work out there. It's going to such a good cause and such a good charity. Make-A-Wish Foundation are going to be incredibly amazed at what has been done today by the DC-SimRacing community. We've got a comment from Daniel Van Dyke saying Daniel Metz is an absolute legend. I couldn't agree more with that. In fact, you know, everyone in chat, please do give some love to all the admins, whether you do it in Discord or here in chat publicly, but to the likes of Daniel Metz, Menno, and all of those. You're amazing people. That is the summary of the facts in this case. You guys are amazing people. You put in so much effort behind the scenes, and it is incredible to see that pay off with such kind donations out there from the community. Cole, welcome into chat as well. A huge sum has already been raised. Now, I would like to thank all the drivers. Without your selfless sacrifice, we wouldn't be able to donate to these children. Thank you very much. I absolutely echo those sentiments. That is precisely what I think we're all feeling at this stage of the race. The drivers have put in so much effort, 24 hours of racing, the teams, the organization, the sacrifices, the time taken away from family and friends to participate in a race, to support our friends, to support our colleagues and our teams. And that combined with a huge sum donated here, you know, you could not ask for a better event here organized. And so big thank you to everyone out there. Just amazing, amazing, amazing work. Like I said, I, as a commentator, have a rather large number of superlatives at my fingertips, but I cannot find any more to describe the event we've got out here today. Absolutely stunning work. Thank you again there. We've got Thomas Cannell in the chat as well. Thank you very much for the emojis, the heart emojis there. Very, very awesome. So thank you for that too. We've got the 196 car. It's had a big issue. Hold on a second. Who's caught up in that? Let me just try and find this on the stream. Oh dear, that's the Limart Esports team, the second BMW in their line out today. They've got 2 BMWs in there, and I believe they also have a Porsche in there. I will double check that fact, so don't quote me on that one, but they've got 3 cars involved today. That was a big issue there, so it looks like that BMW has picked up a lot of damage out on track. Very unfortunate for them. Roger Pesch at the helm of this BMW right now in the final parts of this race. We are coming up on the last 30 minutes And of course, I do remind everyone about the current donation incentive discount. Happy hour continues until the end of this race, so do keep that in mind as we push towards potentially an $8,000 donation amount. The number 13 car there having a bit of an issue too. One of the trickiest parts of this circuit to get right, especially in the wet, Pouan is just such a difficult corner to get right, and then to do it quickly is also another massive issue. But P15, we were looking at this car earlier on during a blue flag overtake from the number 9 Lamborghini. So the Garage 3.1 car here and squad, I'm sure they'll be very happy with a P15 finish. I don't actually know where they started in this race and whether they've gained too many positions. Maybe someone from the team who's in chat at the moment could let us know how they've been doing this race. But hats off to them too for putting on a good show. Unfortunately, they're going for a little bit of a spinaroo at Pouan, very easily to do. These conditions are just treacherous. We've got heavy rain out there for everyone who doesn't know what is going on. Heavy rain at the moment. The track is not in a flooded condition, but it might as well be out there. Few fled as well, putting some hearts in chat. Thank you very much for that. And a big thank you to everyone in chat as well. It does help keep us all entertained and keep us in a situation that feels entertaining. And so I thank you all for your chat engagement today. It's honestly great to see so many comments in the chat and so many people viewing the live stream. Absolute legends, all of you. And of course, everyone who's donated too. We do start to sound like broken records out here. But, you know, as you eloquently put it earlier, Daniel, we do end up having to repeat ourselves a number of times. And it's not for the lack of action happening out on track. You know, there's lots to analyze out there, plenty to look at. But we know what the real point of this race is here today. It's the donations, which will be coming in absolutely in absolute droves, which is, I think, the right word to be. It's coming. The donations have, I think, been coming in as much as the rain is coming in now, with 30 minutes left on the clock, and it is beautiful to see. And a couple of updates here from the chat as well. Rick Kranz in chat saying, "This is not F1. How wetter, how better." I like that. I like that very much. Struna coming in saying number 13 started from P13, went to P5, dropped to 33, now back to P15. So they've had a bit of a checkered day before the checkered flag is reached here today. But P13 to P5, what a great start. Dropping down to P33, that sounds very unlucky. But to drive back to P15, that's excellent. Very, very well done. Few fled saying, "Go Hexagon Nation." So the number 9 car there being referenced. We have some more donations coming in as well. And then Mike saying, "Rick likes it wet." Okay, well, we'll leave that to everyone's imaginations for that one. But we're specifically, just to be very clear,
we're talking about the weather there.
We're talking about the weather, exactly right. And how is the coffee, Daniel? I hope you're sipping away and enjoying the coffee.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to keep myself together for the last half hour here. That 8,000 goal, it could be in reach. Yeah, I mean we've reached goal after goal after goal. Everything goes, guys. If the race would end now, we would. Well, yeah. Again, as I said, I'm keeping myself together, but yeah, I could absolutely cry right now with what we've achieved, because amazing. Let's use that worn out word again, because there are no better words, I'm afraid. So you
absolutely
just,
right, absolutely right. And we've got a battle on track as well. So that's even you know, we've talked a lot about the donations. We will continue to talk about the donations, but a battle out on track in the wet for P4 in this race. Hexagon Nation, the car ahead, P4 at the moment in the number 9 car, under a lot of pressure from Schubert in the 777 car, who've had a real checkered last few hours in this race, but the gap is tiny. You can see there's a huge slipstream there for the 777 car. And will there be a move? There looks like there is a move up the inside into Legume. Goes the 777 car. Oh, that's fantastic work there from Schubert. Well done. Stunning move there. And the Lamborghini with Masson at the helm had absolutely no answer for that send. That is 101 out of the overtaking rulebook. Beautifully timed with the overspeed into turn 3 there at Legume. Absolutely stunning stuff. Well done. And up into P4 in this race.
Yeah, it's good to see with half an hour to go, still racing going on. Yeah, as you just alluded to, there have been times, and the people who've listened a lot the last 24 hours will know that there have been times where I was absolutely so incredibly tired that I didn't even follow the race. And well, I'll be honest, I drift in and out of what's going on track, and that's not for lack of interest, because as you will be aware, I've been out there as well, doing 3 stints, or almost 3 stints this morning myself. So yeah, I'm very interested, of course, also having donated to my team there as well. So yeah, of course, sim racing, that's what we're all about. That's our hobby. That's what we're, again, all about. And yeah, that is very important, sure, but that's not the main goal for today. Well, we've reached that main goal very much, but yeah.
Exactly
just,
right.
Good to see that there's also still a little bit of action on track.
Absolutely, yeah, you'd love to see it. And big thank you to Daniel Van Dyke as well for a comment earlier on about this commentator. Talking about myself in the third person, a clear sign of insanity, which is absolutely standard practice for commentators out here. Car 500 as well, P26.
Let me give him. Sorry, let me give him your name, George Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate that. No, pleasure to be here commentating today. And like I said, it's great to see some action out on track. It really is. But at the end of the day, this is a charity event. It's a charity stream, and the focus is on the people. That's what we're here to do and focus on today. It's about the people and the people involved in racing and those wearing multiple hats as well. You kind of alluded to it, so I'm going to lead you straight into it, Daniel. Let's see. Let's run through the list of things you've been doing today, the hats you've been wearing. You've been a commentator. You've nearly become a broadcaster today as well. You've been a race organizer, a league administrator, a driver, probably spotting at some point as well, and you've had 1 hour of sleep.
Yeah, well, I didn't do much spotting. Thankfully, the other guys did a lot of that, and for me as well, because it really helps so much being a perpetual backmarker. Of course, it helps to know which car you have to let pass. Well, essentially, I let all the cars pass.
Yeah.
All these 2 cars that I was a bit cranky this morning, so I didn't let everyone go. But after an hour, I even let all the cars that were a few laps behind me, if they were quicker, I started to let them pass again. But I was a bit tougher the early part of the morning, because I was still getting the sleep out of my eyes, so to speak. So, but yeah, there have been. I've also been doing the transfers of the funds, of course, on the GoFundMe account. So we've emptied that out completely. Of course, I'll close it really soon, because it will be. We will want to wrap it up at some point, of course, but I'll keep it open for today. So if people still want to donate, that's absolutely fine, of course. And there's still coming a bit of money coming to my account, because I've transferred it from there. But I have gone ahead and I've transferred all the money into the Tiltify account. Of course, we want to see the amount on the screen rising and rising and rising, and we've seen that happen throughout the last 24 hours. Again, whether or not we reach that 8,000 goal, because I know when we reach 8,000, we're going to start dreaming about 8,500, and I know your pockets are getting empty. And let me reiterate that we are doing this. I mean, I've talked multiple times. Oh, I see someone disappearing.
Oh dear, we might have had a little bit of an issue with our connection. No, we're back. So there we go. Okay, phew. So just to let everyone know.
Oh my God.
So I'm a broadcaster from New Zealand. Yes, I'm down in the South Pacific, and I have a British accent, unlucky me. But so what that does mean is that on very rare occasions, and I have the absolute best internet available here in New Zealand, on occasions we do get a little bit of a server like that. It's the first time, actually. That's the first time it's happened so far, which is actually very, very positive. But yes, that was a bit of a scary moment there. But luckily,
my heart dropped.
Yeah, I mean, because it could be a lot of things, right? You start to list through it, you go, was that the server? Was that these 2 cars? Or was that us on the broadcasting side?
the DC-SimRacing hardcore people will know that we've had some server issues with our most recent events. Well, where we know what the cause was, so we're hopeful that we're able to, well, as much as you possibly can do that. We are hoping that we mitigated those issues as much as we can again, but as I see that we now have $7,715.81, so $7,715.81, I should say. You sound like Jimmy Broadbent.
Yeah,
you do, George.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's very kind. That's a very nice comparison. He's a broadcaster and commentator that I look up to. Not to say that I'm emulating him on purpose, which I'm certainly not. But thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
Pitch your voice a bit.
Yeah.
That will make you sound completely like Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I just need to give it a little bit more pitch in it. You know, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just a tiny pitch up, and I think we're there probably.
Yes.
Can you do that with your software?
Yeah. I could probably try. I think I'd kill my voice box in about 15 seconds if I tried to do it for a long period of time.
But yeah, I did want to, again, my tired head was trying to get to a point. There was a point there somewhere in that long rambling. We are doing this without a big streamer. And not to take anything away from all the wonderful people that we have today, but, you know, I've seen the Aiden Millwards and I'm thinking what their name was. There have been a couple of big streamers involved in the other big Make-A-Wish event. Again, I don't want to take anything away from them. They raised an amazing amount of money, of course. But we're doing this without a huge streamer, which means that we're giving this money out without a lot of viewers watching us. We've had... well, 60 people we have currently watching, so that's a lot of people for us. Yeah, I absolutely love seeing all those numbers in the chat, all those people watching us right now. Awesome. But still, it's not the level that you would probably get when there's a Jimmy Broadbent involved or a George A involved.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, or a George Morgan or a Tom Brooks or
exactly.
Lots of big names. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Again, I whether or not I would be great if they would join us, but I'm not sad that I'm not in. I mean, I'm having at least as much fun, maybe even more so, because this is a bit smaller and yeah, a bit more personal perhaps. But as much as I would love to have one of those huge streamers in to, well, of course, raise more money, because that's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, we're doing it without one of those guys, and that makes this all the more special. So please be aware of that we've raised almost $8,000 without a huge streamer, without a well, I'm very thankful for all the sponsors we're having, but yeah, I've seen huge company names being involved with other projects. Of course, we have a couple of bigger names, but yeah, that's this is just an amazing feat. That's all I want to say. This is amazing to reach this amount. You guys are, yeah, incredible.
Yep, there we go. We've run out of superlatives. We're rehashing them as much as we can, because we are honestly like running out.
I switched to incredible, so.
Yeah, that's a very actually good switch there. Very good switch there. I like it. Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, it is one of those things where we do run out of superlatives to describe it. It is stunning, gorgeous, brilliant, beautiful. Amazing, absolutely awesome. I love it, and you love to see it as well. And I think it's a good sentiment to echo as well. It shows that there's a desire out there to get really involved in these things outside of having a large streamer or a really big sponsor involved in it. This can happen on the generosity of people involved in the community, and I think that's the key thing. It's the passion that goes behind these races, and hats off to our donation incentives today. That honestly, I think that's really brought us a long way through this. I will will mention we are $285 away from the $8,000 new goal goal 430 something, I'm sure, that we have set for the donation total today. So, you know, while obviously the checking books have been brought out many, many times, and we are so appreciative of that. It's made a huge difference. We obviously will try and drive. We'll strive to drive to get to our $8,000 donation goal, and see if we can push there in the last 17 minutes of this race. As Daniel did say, we will leave the donation links up, so any post-race donations that you want to make are absolutely more than welcome in. Just reading through a little bit of chat to get through things. We've got Chris Jenkins saying, enjoyed this event. Thanks, guys. Thank you for participating. Gruesome Man saying, so much water, he just disappeared. Yes, he sunk into the road, quite literally. We've got... yeah, someone dropping a heartbeat there from Patrick. Yes, very true. Daniel Van Dyke saying the Dutch understeer squad is doing a double stint at the end. Wow. Okay, that's very impressive. Good luck to them. Car 500 and 501. Okay, we'll take a little look at that. I do also, Daniel, want to go and do a little showcase for everyone's car out there on track, and just read through the driver names, because I think they deserve to be recognized in the last little bit of this race. I'll do that shortly. Struner saying 31 got DC'd. Oh dear. Okay, that's really unfortunate. We'll try and find the 31 cars. That's Schmidt here. Oh no, they're in the pits. Garage 31 team, 3.1 team. Oh dear, they have been in the pits for a little while now, unfortunately, 40 seconds and counting. Let's hope that they can get back out on track. They were running a little bit further up the grid. They were in P8, P7, I think it was, now in P11 overall. So it's really unlucky. But we've got Tim Sis Racing in chat saying, Timmermans for the win, and the rest of the crew, 100%. But I think what we're going to do now, Daniel, if you're okay with me taking the mic for 5 or 10 minutes here, just to run through, or probably only 5, we'll see how fast I can get through it. But I'd like to go run through everyone who's out on track, and just give a little shout out to all the drivers who've been out on track with this 24 hours of Spa, everyone who's been involved with the driving out there and giving us such good racing. So the 25 car here, BOF Racing for Wishes team, the 25 car running in P33, but Tobias, Frank, Finn, Jackie, Barkas, Daniel, and Jonas Schiel, thank you very much. In P31, it is the Dutch understeer squad, the 500 car, Dan Van Dyke, John Beaton, John Van der Peers, Luke, who I can't pronounce the name of. You might need to step in there for a second and help me out.
House, probably.
Yes, there we go. Juiced Verhelst, who's in the car at the moment. Gerion Rushed as well. And then we've got the 592 car here. Chum Racing green car. Tony Sonneberg, Max Muller, Jules Peffeniger. We've got Stefan Tausch in the car right now, and Christoph Babel. Then for the 387 car, the 4K Motorsport 24-hour livery, Tanja Nauendorf in the car at the moment. Eric Lays, Kai K, Felix Kelly Merck. We've got Melanie Klassen as well. Then in the number 10 car, Stefan Zimmerman at the helm of this Ferrari. Daniel Wennerman, Soren Omet, Ue Meyer as well. Thank you all. 94 car, it's Oscar Motten. We've got Bolf Ramschild, Chris Jenkins, and Tobias Hackinson there in the car at the moment. Thank you all. 196, the Leimart Esports BMW. Roger Pesk at the helm at the moment. Daniel Schroeder, Andreas Kronsteiner, Eric Laxasi, Gerhard Pietzel as well. Thank you all very much. The 591 car, we've got Lucas Fellner, Matthias Bischoff, Patrick Stockley, Dennis Bose, Misha Schroka. We've got Joe Sloon in the 87 car over here, Alastair Leckie, Sandro Lepello, Daniel Slater, and Daniel Blauwitz as well. Number 5 car, Christian Wallentine, Dennis Kenkerman, Jerome Eckdart in the car right now, Jürgen Aars, Lars Eheler, and then we've got Kevin Gadow as well. Thank you all. In the 77 car, Chris Davis, Eric Gregis, Lucas Lichten, Jordan Brunch as well. And then in the 911 car, we've got Timo Send, Daniel Hoffman, and Mike Mulson, the only 3-person team on the grid from the entry list. Patrick Maciejowski in the 971 car, Jenny Patterson, Arikon Collier, Matt Jordan, Dieter Santon as well. Patrick Leibrick here in the 84 car, Philip Skrugenoff, We've got Stefan Hill, Daniel Gimbalis, and Daniel Metki as well. Again, apologies for all the names that I'm absolutely butchering now. I'm absolutely sure that I am. But I think a shout-out is worth it for everyone on the grid. In the 44 car, Fabian Stahl, Matthias Kruger, Andre Turk. We've got Marco Strittmatter and Patrick Sauer as well. In the 850 car, Michael Grasser, Hugo Pefter. We've got Christian Gragel, Magnus Menke. We've got Edward Hossel as well. In the 113 car, Patrick Beisches. We've got Daniel Metz, yourself, Daniel. Johan Cambrai, Michael Jeffrey Koch as well. We've got in the 13 car, Markel Flugschadl, Fabio Kerfrist. We've got Gian Luca Bierman and Nick Schmenk as well. Then we've got in the 501 car, Burak Kunk here, Jan de Ridder, Jens Soa, Joris Peters Weem, Justin de Jong, who's in the car right now, and Wesley Levels. Bella Gadjan in the 531 car, David Dvorak, Aziz Omar, Stanislav Hunadi, and then Michael Syme as well. In the 941 car, Jan Hansel, Kevin Jung, Ludger Schlinder. We've got Max Everett, Tim Kraus. In the 926 car, Sergei Neferdiv, Roman Lavrov, Aleski Dris, Nikita Nikiforov, and Dmitry Sukhanov. In the 27 car, Renz Delange, Sander de Boer, Luke Halik, and then we've got Liam Decock as well. In the 69 car, Klaus Leimart, someone called Bloody Rain, which I'm going to laugh about for the rest of this race, excuse me. Manuel Wagner, Christian Voss, and Patrick Reich. That one really tripped me up. The 208 car, Mark Martins, Mark Gibson, Mike Vanderhoek, and Rick Kranz. 31 car, Kevin Kucherman, Robin Schmidt, I should say, Matthias Eckert, Kai Blankstein as well. Then in the 373 car, Rainer Zockling, Sebastian Hessing, Camilo Otto, David Mayer, and Kevin Mortzefer. Then in the 777 car, Till Schubert, Lucas Koenig, Christoph Hatak, Philip Eckert, and Tim Stelling. In the 79 car, Nick Brunjniks, we've got Girion Jongen, Peter Kasbergen, and Tom Brinkman. Then in the number 9 car, Tobias Moberg, Dusan Vojnovic, Russell Mathiesen, and Oliver Soderstrom. In the 14 car, Liam Hinman, Chris Carr, Noah Macomber, Aidan Thai, and Jacob Hart. We've got 112 car, we've got Menno, of course, Menno van der Molen, Chico Lentvar, Christoph Sabine, David Hill, and Joey Theisens, and of course Nick Timmermans in the car right now. And then the final car to go through and thank for all the drivers, Erchen Bechal, Mark Opperman, Benjamin Schwartzler, and Sasha Krager, who's in the car there. So I know that was a little bit to sit through, everyone, and it's not to waste time, it's not to do anything like that, it's not to exercise my voice box. This is purely to thank everyone who's been out there racing today. We've had a few comments in the chat as well, some laughs. Team Marks 208, lol, yeah, absolutely. And almost there, says Menno, yes, absolutely. Daniel B saying, we thank you for the opportunity and big admiration for the initiative of this event. Daniel, over to you. This has been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. And we're crawling ever so slowly towards that $8,000 goal. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I use the amazing words again. I mean, incredible. Yeah. Well, again, whether or not we reach that $8,000, yeah, we did it. Absolutely. So, yeah, and I enjoyed that little the reading out of the names. Well, again, I've been butchering names myself, but.
Yeah. I apologize to everyone. I am so sorry if I butchered your name. There's so many names to get through.
It was fun to hear. Jeroen Jonge, I think you said Jeroen.
Oh no.
Jonge something.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh, yeah, don't worry. Because I know that, for instance, the Russian guys, I try to pronounce their names as well. But yeah, I probably made a huge mess of that. But yeah, apologies for that. So yeah, it's all in good fun, of course, to hear your name. And I also enjoyed Joey the Isons, I think it was Joey Tysons.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. So this is unfortunately, I'm a rather phonetically literal person, which means that I read out basically every character that's in a name and pronounce it. So I don't know enough about the combinations of those characters. So sorry, I'm very typically English. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry.
There we go. Here we go. So we've got some more comments in chat as well. Best incentive ever to have a fun race. Couldn't agree more, Antelope. Thomas Kinnell saying great list. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. We are 7 minutes out from the remainder of this race. We've got some driver of the ring coming. It's going to be well after the race that that does appear. We've got a little battle going on right now. Chris Carr in the 14 car, and he is going up against Liam de Kock there in the 27 car. These two have been having a fantastic battle that we will stay on board with, but it is the 112 car leading us away to the last 6.5 minutes in this race, followed by the 96 car, piloted now by Sasha Krager, and we have had a couple of pit stops come through for them. So again, not that there's no interest in the racing, there certainly is. We will try and keep our fingers on the pulse of the race as it does come towards the final 6 minutes and towards the last lap. 595 laps done by the leader. 596th lap has just begun. The 69 car has been given a penalty, and we are now at $7,978.81 donated. We are so very close to the 8,000 goal as we get very close on track as well. A little bit of contact there. In fact, that may be a very good omen there. Maybe a better omen. Oh, don't go too hard. Okay, we've had a bit of contact, some scraping of paint between these two cars, and this is the battle for the P9 position. Chris Carr does end up going ahead of that little battle. That's very, very close stuff happening, but maybe a little bit of a synchronicity thing there, because that does give me the feeling that as we reach closer towards our $8,000 goal, as these two reached closer on track, they did in fact make contact, and I think we may make contact with the $8,000 goal as well.
Yeah, yeah, what can I say? It's just about $22, right? We can do this.
Yeah, exactly right.
Absolutely.
Exactly, and it's been so much fun with all the teams competing, applying penalties to each other. They've been competing not only on the race, but competing with their amount of donations made. Of course, the teams can clear their own penalties. They can apply penalties to other teams. And this is the whole point. It's a donation incentive, and it's to have fun. It's been awesome. We've had an incredible donation battle overnight, as well as from what I hear from someone in chat, where we had a back and forth, penalties applied, penalties removed. We had a stop-go 30 for the leader. They then cleared that. I mean, it's absolutely excellent. And, you know, at the end of the day, winning this race is, while there are some prizes involved, it's nothing that's so huge that we are here trying to compete against one another. As much as it is a race, this is a race for charity, and everyone involved in this race understands exactly that. And I think that's what's made this such a good event. Very deep there for the 27 car. Oh dear, that's gonna give them a little bit of and another car as well. So a lot of issues being found in the last part of this race. 4 minutes left to go. 23 hours, 56 minutes have elapsed in this race. The concentration level is starting to disappear out a window, I suspect, and that's fair enough at the end of this race. I think everyone is looking forward to that checkered flag coming out at the end, but I mean, what an amazing event.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah,
no, yeah, as you say, we absolutely sound like broken records, but it's what can you say? And that, as what you say about the prizes, is absolutely by design. We do have a couple of nice prizes, just a couple of nice little things. But and again, thank you very much for the sponsors. Again, for those prizes, it's awesome. But yeah, it's very much by design that we did not make too much about of the prizes, even though. We are very thankful to be able to give them out, of course. But yeah, we didn't make a huge fuss about it, because it shouldn't be about the prizes. It should be about donating as much as we can, which we did, because we just reached the 8,000 mark.
We did. I was waiting for you to notice. Yeah, that's right. Oh, everyone, huge congratulations to everyone involved. $8,000. We have reached the goal. We have surpassed the goal. And honestly, that is a P1 for everyone in this race. Well done. And this is going to make a huge difference out there. This is massive. So $8,018.81. We've even got a little bit of a reflection there, the 181881 there with an 8 in there and a 0 in there. Absolutely amazing. With 2 minutes left on the clock, we do in fact hit the $8,000 goal. We did have a driver stint there being cleared as well. So that's a driver stint going a little bit longer than they should have there. Schubert at the end of this race, the 777 car, which we're on board with right now. Eva Sigmund saying 8K, wow, that's exactly right. Wow is the exclamation. It's the alliteration of an emotion that I don't think we can quite describe here today in a race like this after 24 hours with 1.5 minutes left to go with $8,000 in the kitty for Make-A-Wish Foundation today after 24 hours of racing. That's absolutely astonishing. Kurt Peters saying huge respect to all the crew, organization and all the drivers, donators and awesome stream. Antelope saying 8K, love heart. There we go. I mean, at this point, Daniel, I think it's all emotions, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I see, I do see the comment there in the chat, and of course everyone is entitled to their opinion. But yeah, you see it works, and if you don't like it, then don't sign up for the event. It's as simple as that. We see that this worked. We almost raised $5,000 on incentives alone. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? You can think it's trash, but go do something else. I don't like everything that's out there as well, which is absolutely fine because I don't have to sign up. But yeah,
exactly right.
It's fine. It's fine. Just go do something else. We'll just be very happy with what we achieved today, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm proud of everyone involved here. And yeah, it's there's a lot of emotion. Again, I'm keeping myself in check. I've learned how to do that, being kind of an emotional guy. But yeah, it's amazing.
I 100% feel exactly that, mate. And you know, I think everyone in chat, I think throw some love in there for Daniel Metz and the team behind this. You have all been doing that as well. But you know, honestly, at the end of the day, it couldn't have happened without Daniel. It couldn't have happened without Menno and the entire admin team and stewards behind the scenes. So definitely throw them some love in chat, please. Let them know how much you appreciate what they've done. And a big pat on the back for all of you as well, as we do clock over to the 0000 time here on the race. 24 hours has elapsed in this race. We've had some final donations coming through as well, so please do keep those coming in. But honestly, at this point, what a race. We're on board now with the P1 position. It is Timmermans in the car in the 112 BMW coming around the last lap of this race. 24 hours. That is an astonishingly long amount of time. Huge amount of effort that has gone in behind the scenes. There will be some raw emotions after the race, and I think there'll be some very well-deserved rest, I think, is the key thing there. So everyone's going to go and have a nice rest after this and be very happy with what they've done. And at the end of the day, yes, we are here for the charity. This is what it's all about. Every single donation, every single penalty that's had to be cleared or been applied, every advantage that has been gained in this race for position, it all goes to children with critical illnesses, and that is the most important thing at the end of the day, as we do round the last corner through the bus stop chicane for the last time after 24 hours here for Make-A-Wish Foundation. And it is the 112 car with Timmermans at the helm when the BMW goes across the line and takes the P1 position. Stunning race. Across the line goes Sasha Kruger there for the 96 car and finishes the race. P3 to Zockling in the 373 car. What a race they've had today. Stunning stuff. We will have a little look through your results, but your top 10 will be P1, Nick Timmermans and the DC-SimRacing crew. Then we've got Sasha Krager and the Limart eSports team. Rainer Zockling for Falcon SimRacing. Schubert in the car for Firefly X Make-A-Wish. And then we've got Russell Methleton here in the number 9 car for Hexagon Nation. We've got Manuel Wagner here for Lima Esports, the second team in the top 10 for them. Peter Kasbergen here in the QRT Esports crew. And then we've got Mark Gibson coming across the line in the 208 car. They've had a fantastic race, good recovery race here today. And then Chris Carr in P9 for Curb Crew Racing 24 Hours. They've had a checkered race, but they will be happily taking the checkered flag in P9. And then P10 is DeCock here for ERA Esports. That's your top 10 in this 24-hour race. What a stunning way to finish this. 600 laps nearly gained. Once we count all the donuts that I'm sure are going to be done, I think we'll probably get up to about 600 laps worth of race distance here. But 599 laps done out on track, mixed weather conditions all the way throughout this race, finishing in beautiful style under the wet weather here at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. What a stunning way to finish this race. There's high emotions running through the grid right now, elation, exhaustion, and I tell you, a lot of joy out there, because the total at the end of this 24-hour race, with all the donation incentives and all the help and generous donations out there from kind people and people who've been engaging in chat and driving out there, it is $8,055 exactly. So thank you, someone who rounded that out with 19 cents. That is most appreciated for my OCD. But $8,055 total nice. US dollars donated. What a stunning thing. And Daniel, you know, a huge thanks goes out to you. It's just been stunning to watch this happen. Hopefully we do get some donuts, but I think Timmermans here is quite keen to maybe cure his own OCD and get through onto that 600 lap, just to round things out nicely with a nice even number.
Well, I would add another 40 then, so we get $8,100, and then perhaps another $900. Yeah, well. Because we would need another $1,000, because then we would reach 10,000. Yeah, I mean, we've done just so great. What can I say? And right. Again, because I appreciate the things that you give me and the things that everyone in the chat gives me, but it's been very much a shared effort by Funracing, DC-SimRacing Force, Menno, myself, Daniel of Funracing being sort of the board. But we very much listened to our crews to see what they thought, what their ideas was. Of course, we need that back end to sort of bounce off ideas from. So we very much needed that. And yeah, well, honestly, the sponsors as well. Awesome prizes that we can give out the coming weeks. Their support has been amazing. Of course, a lovely donation coming from Coach Dave Academy as well. Very good to see that. And yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. And the sponsors, of course, we will list them out once again. Coach Dave Academy, of course, KNAF, Hedgehog, Just Printing, and Hatskunst as well. So a big thank you to all of our sponsors for this. And yeah, we will be handing out some prizes. Yeah, small, moderate prizes, we'll call them. But the big prize today, I think, is that donation total. It's stunning to see. And, you know, I mean, you know, take a bow, everyone. That total raised is absolutely astonishing. And, you know, just to see that number on the screen right now, just wow. Just wow. You don't often get a commentator that can't speak after a race. Usually they've got lots to say. I'm running short on words, and I'm honestly very, very proud of what you've all achieved today.
Yeah, and as Menno says, of course, he thanks Funracing once more, and the Raven Comms commentary team, of which you are very much a part there, George. So yeah, John, and you have been amazing in your support, and well, raising the level of professionalism as much, even though that's funny for someone saying we've had 5 YouTube streams come up in the last 24 hours, but yes. It's what it is. I mean, it's a process of continuous improvement, of course, but yeah, the level has been raised immensely by your input. So
it's an absolute pleasure. Again. No, it's an absolute pleasure to be involved. It really is a privilege to be involved in an event like this. So all the praise at the end of the day goes to you all, for those watching, for those driving, for those organizing in the background. What an astonishing event. And thank you to everyone who's in chat as well, giving shout outs, saying thank you for being involved, and shouting out the massive amount of money that has been made today. That is absolutely unbelievable. So, yeah, Daniel, mate, at the end of the day, like I said, it's been an honest pleasure to be here to witness this event, and what a total. Excellent work.
It's been awesome to have you, and yeah, thanks again to everyone. Each and every cent has been appreciated, and will go to an awesome cause. So $8,055 there, ladies and gentlemen. A absolute round of applause for yourselves there. That's incredible.
Unbelievable amounts of money, and yeah, there's lots of people in the chat saying 24 hours again. No, I think we might wait just a little bit.
Yes, we'll start in an hour.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so next time 48 hours of some other track. We'll see. I think at the moment the jokes, the humor needs to be expressed, and the emotions and exhaustion that has been gained throughout this 24-hour race need to be expressed as well. So, hats off to everyone who's been out there driving today. I know as a driver myself exactly how much effort goes into it. It's not easy out there. Go and do some stretches. Go and have a nice warm cup of tea or some beverages, so to speak. Enjoy yourselves and reminisce on your performances today, and think positively of it as well. Even if you've had a disappointing race out there, forget about that. It's not about the result. Keep an eye on that number there, because that is the key thing on your screens right now. That total is just astronomical. So, Daniel, I believe with the server now going down and the pit garage being emptied, the trucks, the cars being loaded onto trucks and taken away, I think it is about time that we start to think about wrapping up this stream. So I will say a final thank you from my side, and then I will hand it over to you to lead us out to the end of the stream. But a pleasure being here. My name is George Cook on behalf of Raven Comms, a very small part of this situation here today. Keep an eye on that number here. Go onto the Discord, of course, give a like and follow to DC-SimRacing YouTube channel. It's much appreciated, but a huge thanks to all the drivers, teams, organizers, sponsors out there. Thank you so much for the generous donations that has made this event absolutely worth every second of being out there on track. Thank you to all the families who have sacrificed time with each other this weekend. That's a huge sacrifice to make. So a big thank you to you all. It has made a huge difference out there. And that is the takeaway. So thank you all very much. I will now hand it over to your glorious leader in Daniel Metz to round out today's stream and give us the final words.
That's way too much credit there, but yeah, well, I am but a servant. Again, I can't thank you enough. I can only underline all the things that George just said, and what we've been repeating for the last couple of hours. You've all been amazing, and yeah, I'm lost for words. Let's look at that. Let's keep looking at that number that we raised, and yeah, be incredibly proud of ourselves. And again, everyone involved, whatever your role was, this has been amazing. And I'm sure April of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is going to be amazed when she wakes up in a short while to see what we did. Because the last time I spoke her, I asked her to raise the goal to $4,000. I think it was. So yeah, there you go. George making that number a bit bigger on your screen. So have a good look at it. And yeah, well, thank you again. And it's time to get a good deserved rest for every one of us. So, well, not good night, but sleep well.